how's everybody doing this afternoon? At least this afternoon here. Went to bed with my hair wet last night. It's crazy today. But anyway, uh, there's a lot that's on my mind today. Um, and first of all, I'll let you all know I'm on my way to drive the school bus. Uh, and I now, at this point, have a full-time job. Don't know how long that's going to last. Just not sure that I'm going to be able to get fast enough. But building fences. But anyway, plus, like today when it's rainy, you can't see, but it's rainy, muddy. It's rained most of the day so far. We can't work building fences. So, anyway, right now I'm on my way to go drive the school bus because they needed somebody this afternoon. And I was available. Excuse me. So, first thing that's on my mind is I just saw this Bremerton, I can't remember. It's in Washington State. This football coach that got fired a few years ago for praying on a football field. Just won big time, and makes me kind of happy to see it, Story was he started praying by himself on the 50-yard line after the football game, and then the kids started joining him of their own free will. Of course, the school didn't like it. Probably some person that they don't want to pray, they don't want to believe in Jesus and God and all that, so they complain because they don't think anybody, they get to share their opinions, but nobody else gets to share theirs. We know about those kind of people. Well, anyway, so then he started, talking to the kids about God and religion and Jesus and all that. School told him he had to stop it, so he stopped having these conversations with them. But he continued to pray after the football games. So he told the school he was not going to quit that, and they fired him. Which I guess they have that right. I don't know. Which, makes me think, if that was a Muslim coach asking to pray 7 times a day, would they have fired them? Just asking. They have a right to pray too. But so do Christians. But anyway, so the Supreme Court of the United States, I do believe, yes, I know it was now. Anyway, they ruled that his rights were violated. He got his job back. He got awarded $2 million. The school district was forced to pay his legal cost of $1.77 million. And I think that's great. It sucks because the taxpayers are the ones who ultimately pay here. Not the individual school board members who thought it was a good idea, nor whoever complained. And that's how this works. Is, guess what, folks in Bremerton, Washington? Your school taxes are going up. This kind of stuff needs to be stopped, and I hope this sends a message that, hey, look, let the man pray. He's not forcing anyone to listen. You can walk away. Those kids did not have to go join him. They chose to of their own free will. In a society where Kids are supposed to have all this freedom. They got the freedom to go against biology and choose their own sex, but they can't choose to pray after a football game. Yeah, I'm saying something's wrong. Anyway, congratulations to that guy. I mean, now he does not have to work. But anyway, he should have never had to do all this. Never. He made concessions. He compromised. Well, they didn't like it. That wasn't good enough, so they couldn't compromise. So now the school gets to pay. The taxpayers pay. Always the taxpayers have to pay. It gets old. I'm telling you, it gets old. I mean, I don't have to pay that much taxes. I'll be honest with you. I don't make enough money at anything I do to have to pay very much in taxes. But, if you don't, of course, probably the people who complain the most don't even live in that school district, and they just got somebody on the school board riled up about this fake separation of church and state, and they got scared they were going to get sued. So guess what? They got sued. I'm all for anyone exercising their freedom of speech, and that is part of freedom of speech, the exercise of your religion. I don't care if you're whatever. Personally, I'd rather not see a Satanist out there and a bunch of kids joining them, but they got that right, I guess. But anyway, let me see. There's like I said, there's been a lot on my mind the last day or so. Things are just crazy. It just, I don't know. Are you about tired of hearing, Anyway, things are getting bad when you have a nationally syndicated radio host telling you need to get prepared. You need to be stockpiling food. Get yourself out of debt. Of course, they've been telling us that all along, but now I know a lot of people don't like him, and there's all kinds of crazy stories out there about him. And you could, if you want to, you can find an excuse for not liking anyone. But I watched, I don't know, maybe a half hour of Glenn Beck's radio program on YouTube. He broadcasts the first hour on YouTube. Streams it, I guess is the proper word. But anyway, and that's what they were talking about. Was everybody needs to be preparing for some tough times, just like a whole lot of us others out here have been saying. I don't see how things are going to get better anytime soon. Okay, we've got almost 2 years before the next presidential election. And then, if we elect someone who can really make things happen, and it's still going to be a year or two, so we're looking at 4 to 5 years, best case, I think, before things start to straighten up a little bit. Well, significantly, I guess. So we got to get prepared. And you've got to get it. You've got to start understanding that there is a high possibility and a pretty good probability of a world war kicking off here. I mean, it's setting up. I believe it was last week, a Russian fighter jet and a U.S. drone crashed into each other. To me, that's just like, what? So I don't know any particulars of it beyond that, but it's scary times. North Korea is saying they're getting ready to invade South Korea. And, you know, you got to think about all these countries. They're lining up against the West, so to speak. You know, of course, there's Russia with what they're doing in Ukraine, which it just seems to me like the United Nations, it just keeps poking the bear there. You know, it's like a little kid with a sharp stick and a chained up dog. You know, just keep poking and poking and poking. And I heard that they're going to send a large number. I can't remember. I want to say 100,000 or more, but don't quote me on that one. Don't quote me on anything. Go look it up. And then you can come back and say, yep, that old guy, yeah, that's what's happening. But anyway, get prepared for tough times, folks, because they're coming. I mean, they're getting a little closer. I know SHTF, hopefully everybody understands what I'm saying when I say that. Everybody has got this thought that everything's just going to hit the fan all at once. And that's not how it's going to happen. It's going to, you know, a little bit at a time, you know. You know, we're in the short stages. You know, it's more stink than it is crap, but it's coming. And it won't be too good when it hits. So, okay, well, I'm almost up here to the bus barn, so I'm going to cut this off. And we'll talk to you all after a bit.